deadline to release the full Epstein files by next Friday. Pierre Thomas reports from Washington. Also tonight, fired Michigan football head coach Sharon Moore facing chilling allegations in court, appearing before a judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Prosecutors revealing the charges. The husband and father of three accused of threatening an ex-girlfriend just hours after he was fired from one of the most coveted jobs in college football. What we've just learned moments ago. New images coming in, record flooding forcing an entire city to evacuate. Rivers rising to historic levels. Tonight, dangerous snow and life-threatening cold from the Midwest to the Northeast. Major cities along the I-95 corridor bracing for the first accumulating snow of the season. Our weather team timing it out. A new lawsuit hoping to block construction of President Trump's $300 million White House ballroom, where the East Wing once stood. Here in New York City, the alarming incident in the heart of Manhattan at the peak of the holiday season. Police say a mother changing her baby's diaper stabbed by a woman inside Macy's on 34th Street. The ABC News investigation, drone prison drops. How authorities say a security breach delivering dangerous contraband to inmates fueled a cell phone scam targeting doctors, nurses, and everyday Americans. Tonight, a cargo plane making a fiery emergency landing. The plane rocking from side to side, sparks and flames shooting from the wing as it hits the runway. Late today, King Charles coming before the cameras, what he's now sharing about his very personal battle with cancer. And behind the scenes of the Eras Tour. Taylor Swift's emotional and revealing moments meeting survivors of an attack, a foiled terror plot.
We've had a series of very violent, scary things happen to the tour.
The new docuseries now on Disney Plus for celebrations and milestones on her record-breaking tour.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, I'm Whit Johnson in for David tonight. And we begin with breaking news. More than 90 newly released images from the Jeffrey Epstein estate now made public. The latest wave coming in just a short time ago. House Democrats releasing the photos, including multiple pictures of President Trump, a photo of former President Bill Clinton, along with a number of famous faces from business to Hollywood. The pictures released without context, some Republicans accusing Democrats of cherry-picking photos to harm President Trump. The Justice Department now has 1 week left to comply with the law signed by Trump to release the full Epstein files and what the president said just a short time ago. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leads us off.
Tonight, House Democrats releasing new images from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, showing the sex offender alongside some of America's most powerful men. The 90-plus photos, some released with redactions, part of a trove of 95,000 images that came from Epstein's email account and a computer. They include a rare image of former President Bill Clinton standing shoulder to shoulder with Epstein's convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. 3 of the photos are of President Trump, locations and time frame unknown, one with Epstein. Another shows Trump at what appears to be a public event, posing with 6 women, all of whom appear to be adults.
Obviously, there are photos of powerful men and folks that we want to have an opportunity to speak with and ask questions of.
Another photo showing President Trump's former advisor, Steve Bannon, sitting across a desk from Epstein. On the desk, a framed photo of an unidentified woman lying on a couch. The circumstances of the photo unclear. Democrats gave no context for the images they released that also include former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and his wife, billionaire Richard Branson, star director Woody Allen, appearing on what seems to be a film set with Epstein, and Bill Gates, standing next to Epstein's longtime private pilot in front of what appears to be Epstein's private jet. The appearance of these men in the Epstein photos is not evidence of wrongdoing. Republicans say the Democrats are, quote, cherry-picking photos and are making targeted redactions to create a false narrative about President Trump. Late today, President Trump asked about the photos.
There are hundreds and hundreds of people that have photos with him, so that's no big deal. I know nothing about it.
It comes as the Department of Justice has until next Friday to comply with the law passed by Congress last month to release the entirety of the Epstein files. Our Jay O'Brien was on the Hill today.
If DOJ doesn't release the files it has by next Friday, is there anything Congress can do to compel that to happen?
Well, I mean, it's a crime if they don't. It's not like they're in contempt of Congress and because they didn't respond to a subpoena. This is a new law with, criminal implications if they don't follow it.
A possible wrinkle, Ghislaine Maxwell, serving a 20-year sentence for crimes related to Epstein, has indicated she will file a new petition to challenge her conviction that could potentially impact the file's release. DOJ officials have taken steps to unseal grand jury material tied to Epstein, but congressional leaders are expecting much more, including files from the FBI and other government agencies. Whit?
And that deadline fast approaching. Pierre Thomas, we appreciate it.
Yes. We back in the building with another podcast vlog, and this is RDP, aka Raw Dope Podcast, and I'm in the building. Good morning. Listen, we got the infamous boy Jeffrey Epstein on the chopping blocks. We got Diddy versus 50 Cent. We got P Sayso P updating his case, and Ksoo father, after Ksoo get a life sentence, his father doing interviews. The rat nigga blue doing interviews. You know I gotta dig in the creek. Listen, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, man. Shout out to the team, man. Third World Studio. We dropping something new soon. You know what I mean? We gotta get in the lab, man. Be on the lookout. We start filming in January, a new movie, new short film by Third World coming out, man. We shooting that, man. Hopefully we had that to y'all before my birthday, which is April, but we gonna, hey, listen, next year, if you tapped into this channel and the Third World channel, follow Third World Studios, please. Man, we got a lot of short films coming out, bro. Our imagination is hitting the big screen. And you know you gotta have a big cup of ice water when you're dealing with me. It ain't nothing like it, yo, because I'm gonna tell y'all, before you put that earth in you, you gotta hydrate the body. But hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Some of the Epstein's files was released, as you heard my man, maybe see news say. We're gonna dig in that. But what's more interesting to me is what I'm into is Ksoo father. And I know I gotta hit y'all with the regular news and the stuff that y'all like, but man, this is different. This is different, man. This is different, man. Michigan football coach charged with assault. Bunch of stuff going on. Let's do this news vlog and we get into the topics. Let's go. And I gotta get right. Wake and bake. So what? We get drunk. So what? We smoke weed. We
Moore
just
now
having
facing
fun.
multiple charges.
I don't
Here's
care
ABC's
who
Alex
sees. So what?
Tonight,
we get
disgraced to
high.
former Michigan head
That's
coach
how it
Sharon
goes to
Moore is
be.
out on bond, now facing charges of felony home invasion and stalking and breaking and entering into the home of an ex-girlfriend.
Mr. Moore, could you state your name, please?
Jerome Moore.
This afternoon, the 39-year-old appearing in court via video, the prosecutor telling the judge the alleged victim broke up with Moore, but he allegedly kept calling and texting her.
Eventually, she presented herself to the University of Michigan, cooperated in some...
Tender dudes gotta stop. The fruit tenders gotta stop. The fruit tenders gotta stop, bro. Yo, you making millions of dollars being a football coach, right? You making millions of dollars being a football coach. Michigan, big school, and you stalking a chick? Like, I be tripping off of these dudes, bro. Yo, listen. I can see the dead middle of the winter, nigga scratching, don't got a job making $15 an hour, and then you kicking in the door, you trying to get back with your girl. You know what I mean? You're trying to get back with your girl. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, use a fruit tender. But you got millions of dollars. Do you know when you got millions of dollars, you don't have to be a fruit tender? You don't have to be a tenderoni. That's what dudes tell you. Jadakiss told us in the rap years ago. Jada told us years ago in the joint. He said, yo, if he had money, he could diss her. So the dudes with money are fruit tenders, bro. I can't believe it. How do you have money and be a fruit tender? Kenny, tell me. Spaz, tell me. How do you have money and be a fruit tender? How do you make it kicking indoors? Man, shit, if you want to get by, be sending videos of some exotics eating me up, bro. I ain't with that kicking in your door. I'm rich. Fuck up. You better kick this door in. Come on, Michigan. Fucking fruit tender. He's a fruit tender. Straight up. Shout out to Fruit Man. He's a fruit tender. This is fruit tenders.
Formal investigation there.
The married father of 3 fired by the University of Michigan on Wednesday with cause effective immediately.
Dang.
After the school says he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, saying UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. Then later Wednesday, according to authorities, Moore went to the woman's home, allegedly entered through an unlocked door without permission, and engaged in a verbal argument with the victim that escalated.
I have to type up how much does he make.
Apartment.
I got to.
Immediately then proceeded.
Y'all know this is the world famous MacBook.
Grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors.
I'm married to this computer. Bitch held us down 10 years.
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm lying, 7.
I'm gonna make you watch.
I said I'm gonna kill myself.
You ruined my life.
Oh my God!
Relaying information to responding officers.
This guy's crazy. That's crazy. Say he's gonna kill himself, making millions. I'm gonna kill myself.
Today, a judge ordering Moore to have no contact with the alleged victim and wear a GPS monitor. Moore was in the 2nd year of a 5-year contract, making about $6 million a year.
Get the.
You know where
I told y'all.
After this
nigga.
be able to go home.
Let me break down $6 million a year to you guys. $6 million a year. He works in a college. So we're going to break that down. $6 million a year is $125,000 per week. 500,000 times 500,000 a month. 5 times 12 is what? 6 million. 6 million. 500,000. That's what. The boy make $125,000 a week, and he's kicking in the door. He's a fruit tender for real, bro. Like, y'all ain't no motherfucking way, man. I'm making that motherfucking type of money, arguing, kicking in the door. Bro, you make $125,000 a week, you go buy a girlfriend $25,000. What the hell? And it still won't hurt you. You can buy 120. You can buy 500. You can take your paid for 1 month and go build a girl. You kicking in doors and handcuffed, getting fired for a check? God almighty, bro. Why do they don't give that money to me? I'm spelling shit wrong. Can't even get on my goddamn computer. I'm so devastated. Why the hell is my shit ain't charging? How the hell is this on 3%? What the hell? 3% is not going to help with nigga survive. Then it goes all the way to the top. I don't understand. He was Jim Harbaugh replacement, by the way. Well, they should have kept Harbaugh. You know what I mean? They should have kept Harbaugh. Harbaugh should have stayed there because that dude is crazy. Yo, he just dumb as shit, bro. Like, I ain't making no motherfucking $6 million a motherfucking year. And I was going to Google how much did he make. I'm not about to make no $6 million a year, bro, and be going cuckoo over no check. I'm sorry. You make too much money to be going cuckoo over no check. You come on, bro. Come on.
I'm just going to not answer that question, but he'll be in the commuter.
And Whitmore has not yet entered a plea. He's due back in court January 22nd. The University of Michigan football now left to regroup with an interim coach as they prepare to take on Texas at the Citrus Bowl New Year's Eve.
Didn't he miss the Citrus Bowl?
We appreciate it. Now to the extreme weather from coast to coast.
The weather is tough coast to coast.
Wind chills plunging.
I like to cover this world news before I get into my topic to let you know what my mental. I watch this show. So if you're my audience, you watch it with me, or you hear it with me.
Record floods.
And like I said, you don't have the grease face. There's something wrong with the grease face. I feel like I don't got the grease face. I don't have the grease face. I don't have the grease face. I have to get the grease face. When you do a morning show in the morning, you gotta have a grease face, yo. Grease face. You don't have a grease face, that means you didn't wash your face. I wash my face. But I just don't have the grease face. I need the grease face. I'm one of them ones. You know?
Look at the flooding in this neighborhood in Burlington. They told the entire town.
That's Burlington, New Jersey.
To evacuate.
That's Burlington, New Jersey.
The National Guard was going door to door.
Good God.
First responders rescuing people from vehicles stranded in the water.
I had to get the grease face, y'all. You gotta get the grease face. Gotta have the grease face.
Mendez says her son woke up to the sound of water coming in.
I've been here more than 15 years and never seen anything like it.
So
and I'm
let me
trying to process it.
Call me a fat, scared MF. Because I have to be honest with you. They call for a national disaster in my area, my region. I'm going, man. I want to go to the bank. I'm going to borrow. I'm going to do whatever I have to do as a man to say I need a rental car and I need a hotel for about 3 weeks outside of where I'm at until I come back. And I could do the things like board my house up, secure personal belongings, some things are sentimental, and I got to go. I'm not waking up in the morning to water coming in the house after I watch the news. That's why it's so important for you motherfuckers to watch the news. I explain it to children. I explain it to my nieces. Yo, through the course of your day, bro, you should look at the news. Through the course of your day, you should. And a good time to look at the news is when you about to go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, because you get it all in. If you don't watch the news, man, you might ride into a national disaster. You might jump on a plane and go into something, and people gonna be looking at you like you crazy. Like, bro, you ain't know this was going on. You have to watch the news, bro. You gotta know what's going on. And some news could be try to fuck your mind, but all news ain't bad, bro. So you gotta look at the news to know what's going on, bro. That's why people be getting caught up in these national disasters. It be hard for rescue squad because they give you a heads up on it. You can see, like, they do a 7 weather report, different states, bro. Like, you gotta watch the news, your local news and your world news, bro. I'm just telling y'all gotta watch it, bro. It's not there for nothing. She's telling me she didn't leave. I've been here for 10 years, baby. You gotta go. Like, hey, look, houses are floating. Imagine if you was in a floating house on the water. Like, come on, guys.
Way in floodwaters in Denver,
I'm looking
Washington.
at
This Coast Guard crew swooping in by helicopter in Sumas, Washington.
They're just struggling to get into that. Get someone take the pipe scared.
2 choppers hoisting 4 people in all who fled to the attic of that flooded home, the water rising up to the roof. And tonight in the Northeast, major cities along the I-95 corridor bracing for the first accumulating snow of the season.
So looking at Philadelphia, the forecast, we are going with 2 to 4 inches.
And with back here in Washington, Snoqualmie Falls,
that's beautiful.
Roaring tonight, and the
I gotta see that from my own 2 eyes.
There is more rain in the forecast in the coming days, bringing potentially more flooding and landslides. With
quite a scene,
I gotta go to Washington.
Right to meteorologist Jeff Smith from our New York station WABC. Jeff, more dangerous weather on the way.
So we live up in 95, so I know what's going on.
Day tomorrow where these rivers that are in major flood
I grew up with snow. We love it
a little bit, but unfortunately, that atmospheric river pattern
we grew up.
Reestablish itself.
I grew up in the northeast region of the United States.
Major rain and snow, so the flood threat not over in the Pacific Northwest. That threat of accumulating snow along the I-95 corridor for later on tomorrow night into early Sunday. That's
so we talking
heading out of the Midwest. We have winter weather advisories from Philly to New York City. 1 to 4 inches of snow in general expected there. Upwards of a half a foot over parts of the Ohio Valley, and the cold behind it will be brutal, even dangerous. We have cold weather advisories from the
17 degrees in DC. It's gonna be cold tonight.
Down to 30 below zero.
Jesus.
We'll brace for that, Jeff Smith. Thanks so much. Next tonight, a new lawsuit is hoping to block construction of President Trump's $300 million.
I'll get to that later. Let's get into the breathing button. Hit that notification button. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like. Leave a comment. Now, first thing I want to get into is this singer David. Before I get into all that, David. This arrest warrant has been made in the David case. If y'all don't know, that's a Houston singer, live out California. Like a 15-year-old girl got found dead in his Tesla. And David's different. Here we go. Let's hear what your boy Harvey said. It's just one lady that Nancy, bro. Nancy Gray, she gets on my nerves. But she tell me how it is. I ain't gonna lie. So we gotta get busy with this David shit. Cause I'm very interested in this David case. Like a girl get found in your trunk. Your fucking trunk, bro. And you don't get charged. I'm from Baltimore. Some of the shit these dudes be doing, bro, I be like, yo, you the been booked. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They like you up for petty shit out here. So all the shit that these niggas be televising and doing. I said, hell no, where I come from, bro. They coming to get you. Like, they ain't no joke in it. If a fucking body got found in my trunk, Jack, and that car was in my name, Jack, I got an answer for that, bro. Ain't no hanging out for 3 and 4 weeks, Jack. You going to prison. My batteries must be going dead. I hate this for me. What the fuck am I doing?
The suspect in what they believe is the murder of Celeste Rivas. His name is Robert Morgenroth. Robert Morgenroth is the head of Mogul Vision, which is the label for David. But more than just the
oh my God, it's an hole.
He is a manager. He manages David. And he is involved in David's day-to-day life. and clearly knows a lot. So on Monday, Morgan Roth was in the hallway with his lawyer, and there were people around, and they weren't sitting or standing right next to them, but the hallway echoes. And it was clear to people around there that there was a conversation that Morgan Roth was having with his lawyer. And he was recounting what happened inside the grand jury room with the prosecutor in the case. The prosecutor, Beth Silverman, according to Morgan Roth, here's what he said. She was very pushy on why I didn't call police. And then he went on to say that he said, in response to that, that he said, quote, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour. Now, we do not know the context of this, but when the DA is grilling him about not calling the police, that has to involve a crime. You're not going to call the police because somebody didn't show up for work. You're going to call the police if there's some kind of crime involved, especially since this is a case involving what the DA says is a crime. So we don't know what Morgan Roth knew that would require him, according to the DA, to pick up a telephone and call the police. But there's something. And again, he was involved in David's day-to-day life. So, okay, there is more. There is another manager in this same company, and his name is Josh Marshall. That name may be familiar to you because Josh Marshall was the guy who leased the house in the Hollywood Hills that David was staying at. It is the same house that the LAPD raided pursuant to a search warrant just shortly after Celeste's body was found inside David's Tesla. We are told by law enforcement sources that this house being searched was really critical to that investigation. So Josh Marshall, who leased the lease, is part of the company Mogul Vision that Morgan Roth is also involved with. Morgan Roth and Josh Marshall are both managers of David. So they seem to know a lot about David. I don't know, we don't know if Josh Marshall was called as a witness. I would frankly be very surprised if he wasn't. But Morgan Roth testified for at least 3 days. We don't know if he was testifying last week as well. One other interesting thing happened on Tuesday. Morgan Roth went into a courtroom that is next to where the grand jury was hearing the testimony. And along with Morgan Roth, the DA, Beth Silverman, also went in. Now, that's important because when there's something that happens in the grand jury where there's a dispute, for example, if a witness won't answer a question and the DA is pressing for an answer, if there's a stalemate, the DA can go to the judge and force the witness to testify, or at least get the judge to do that. We don't know if that's why they walked in, but both Morgan Roth and Beth Silverman walked into that courtroom. And when they did, we have a reporter who was down there who was in the courtroom, and the judge kicked our reporter out. I can believe that hearing. So something was going on about what was happening in the grand jury room, and it may well be there was some dispute over what Morgan Roth would or would not say. But again, we don't know what that is. Now let's go to Wednesday because this gets even more interesting. So I told you that Beth Silverman is the DA. Morgan Roth's lawyer is a woman by the name of Evan Janess. So this is after the conversation on Monday. On Wednesday, Beth Silverman, the prosecutor, walks out into the hallway and starts talking to attorney Evan Janess. And what we are told by people who are around there is that that Beth Silverman was very frustrated and said that she would have a judge issue a body attachment to a female witness that was supposed to appear before the grand jury. A witness.
Somebody going to jail in this shit.
Janess represents.
Somebody going to jail.
Also represents.
Somebody going to jail.
So apparently this witness didn't show up, and Beth Silverman seemed frustrated, according to the people there, and said to Janess, I'm going to have a body attachment placed on this woman, and we're going to have her taken to court. That's an arrest, taken to court to appear before the grand jury. So we don't know if that woman also has a connection to Morgan Roth, who was again represented by Evan Janess. So there are a lot of connections here. Connections between Josh Marshall and Morgan Roth, both of whom were really intimately involved in David's day-to-day life. And then you have this female witness who may be involved with Morgan Roth as well, because the same lawyer represents both of them. And you've got a situation where it sounds like not everybody is being fully cooperative with the prosecutor, who seems to be getting.
You know what the sad part about it is? They killed that little girl, man. And you know, Third World in the comments saying, you know, he think it's a, you know, a relationship going on amongst men, yo. But that woman deserved to die over that, bro. That's real to me, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's a little girl, bro. That's somebody's daughter, bro. That's the part that got me crazy. Like, it's somebody's daughter involved in that. Yo, that girl was like 15, 14 years old, bro. And these weirdos, bro. These weirdos. That's why you got to be careful, bro. Who you let your kids around, bro. Like, all right, fuck that, bro. You got to take your daughter serious, bro. Like, your son wander off and get into something, bro. You got to know he can be all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Because I remember, yo, times when I was little that, y'all ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I can't sit online and lie. I did a lot of stuff as a kid, as a young boy growing up in Northwest Baltimore. I did a lot of stuff. But one thing that I was raised up, right, off of was respect. So I tell dudes this all the time. I'm telling you, dudes might be like, yo, fine, man. But I'm telling you the truth, bro. I never really stayed out all night and was disobedient to my grandmother and my uncles too. I was really 18, bro. Like 18 for real, bro. I might have came in the house 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning at 16, 17 years old and get in trouble for that. But I wasn't staying out all night letting the sun beat me home. And I wasn't doing a lot of shit that dudes do. But when I got outside and out the neighborhood, bro, I was a demon child. But when you know, the state probably said a verse. I had my mama thinking, "A boy good. I kiss her before I leave, then hit you in the hood." Like, for real. Once I got a block away from my house, I was a whole different motherfucking animal. And that's just the truth. So I say that to say, people don't be who they kids don't be who they be in the house, bro. At least that's the smarter way to go about things. I thought, man, I ain't doing nothing near my house. I ain't doing nothing that they gonna find out. And I was an idiot. It's only probably 2-3 blocks away. But I thought, as long as I'm in front of the house, and don't get back to my grandmother. So like I said, bro, you got to watch out. You know what I mean? I wasn't staying out late and doing a lot of shit that niggas was doing because I had respect for my peoples and I knew it's consequential for my actions. But man, shitting me ain't no motherfucking way. But that of my cousins on my father's side, bro, would have been gone for no motherfucking day at 15 years old, and it wouldn't have been a massive manhunt. So I blame that on the parents, especially when you're dealing with a female. Like my mother, my mother used to couldn't really handle us, you know what I'm saying? So she let it be. But my sister, she wasn't playing no games. But my sister staying out playing no games with it. She would be in a car looking on every door. So it's like your daughter. Your son and daughter, you supposed to do that. But your son, you like, yo, he 15, 16, that nigga hard, he gonna learn the hard way. But your daughter, you got to jump up in that car. You got to jump up in that car because usually your son somewhere hiding with his homeboys, or you know what I mean? Your son might end up in a gang selling drugs on a robbery. Your daughter could end up in a trunk. You see the difference? Your daughter could end up in a trunk because it's animals out here at the 12 o'clock. I don't care what state you in. Your little girl shouldn't be outside under 18 years old, shouldn't be outside past 11 o'clock. I'm just telling you, without y'all not knowing where they're going, because it's a cold world. when that motherfucking moon hit the sky. It's cold out here, bro. It's cold out here. You have men and women that don't see age, bro. You could be normal, bro. I remember that, bro, hanging around 25, 30-year-old people and be 16 and be normal around them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all right for a little boy. It ain't right neither way when you under 18. Let me get that straight. But when you a little boy, it's different. You can really protect yourself. You know what I mean? At 16 and 15, man, we was putting grown men down, jumping on grown men. But your little daughter, because I done been outside at the 12 o'clock. You feel what I'm saying? I've never been a creep or a weirdo, but I've been outside at the 12 o'clock, bro. And I done, you know what I'm saying? I'm just be honest with you, bro. Like, I never seen none of that creepy shit. Like, nobody, no whack a girl, you know what I mean? Or no crazy shit like that. But shit, you know what I mean? She catching her cut 5, 6 different ways. You get what I'm saying? Oh, boy, we got a freak. She in the house, getting in the bando, getting trizzies ran on her for real. When you stay out late now, dude's gonna get drunk. You going what do kids do once they are 15 and older and marijuana and liquor involved? It's you feel me? Then you're a big celebrity. So that girl's possessed. Beautiful little girl, man. Celeste was a nice little girl. I don't think she deserved to die though. Especially with my nephew saying that kind of sort of what happened. A lot of women fell victim like that. Find out the person that they love, a man that they like or go for, he ain't, you know what I mean? He like the same thing they like. So, you know what I mean? It's a tough situation. And then God knows what that girl seen and agreed that she was going to tell about. And them boys did the unthinkable. And fuck that, bro. And then you know that their dudes are not used to crowns because you put a body inside of a singer, a well-known singer, y'all artist trunk. That's the fucking stupidest shit ever, bro. Like, it's no way. And despite that girl was hot in her ass, bro, I hope they get justice for her. And when they find out who did that shit and get to the bottom of it, to bring her parents in there in handcuffs too. Especially her father. Nigga, you should have been a fucking father. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. You should have went above and beyond to protect your daughter, bro. At that age, you can't really do nothing once your daughter 17 and a half. You get what I'm saying? You're like yo, I bet, man. But god damn, 14, 15 years old, shit, I got that control. That little girl wasn't even 16 years old. That little girl wasn't even legal age to drive. Like, fuck that, man. You ain't going nowhere. And that's just what I believe. It's shorty, you know. I don't know if he did it or did it. When I look at photos of him, and after my nephew said it, he looked real. He looked wild, bro. Let's get into this. Let's get into this again. Hit that notification button. Hit that subscribe. Super violate that joint. You know what I mean? I don't think no girl should go through that. It shouldn't happen.
Like, it's perfectly okay for the Los Angeles police and prosecutors to stonewall all of us when it comes to the investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez and her singer boyfriend, David. But God help anybody who tries to stonewall them. Apparently, the authorities do not like it when people decide not to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that grand jury we told you about? The one that is trying to figure out which crimes may have been committed in the death and concealment of Celeste and who might have
I'm going to keep it real. I do believe, this is me, it's going to come out. It's coming out, the grand jury involved. I said this, if y'all go back, rewind and go back, I wish I was nice, man. That's why we got to get together. I'm going to start. Now, you know what, Spaz? I came out with something. I'm going to talk to you. I don't want nobody steal it. But I would just like to rewind to one of my old footage. I said that I don't believe that they, like, whacked out. You get what I'm saying? I don't believe that. I could be wrong. This is my opinion. I believe that she's fucking around and using drugs. I believe she went out on the drugs, bro. I believe she went out on the drugs. Real shit. I believe she went out on the drugs, bro, and what they could do. I don't believe no foul play was involved. This is my belief, and I could be 100% fucking wrong. I don't believe it was no foul play involved. I believe that the ecstasy, that cocaine, that shroom, something put her out, and those dudes did not know how to revive her. They put her in the trunk. They tried to dump her somewhere. They panicked. They went crazy, and this is it. You know what I mean? I don't think, the body was so decomposed they can't tell, but it's some smart people that went to college and some smart people that studied them bodies. They're going to get to the bottom of it, but I didn't see no I don't think that they recognize strangling marks, or I don't know, because LAPD is not really putting shit out there. They putting bits and pieces, because this is a blow to them. A 15-year-old girl, 14, 15-year-old girl found in a single trunk, and this shit happened in the summertime. It's been 6 months and ain't no motherfucking cuffs been whipped out yet. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't hear nothing from her family. That's what's really getting to me. Like, when is her family speaking out? Like, what the fuck? Or is the family just so embarrassed that they let this shit happen to their daughter that they just lost for words? I don't know. But let's go.
Behind all of that? Well, now TMZ is reporting that a prosecutor was overheard threatening to take one of the witnesses into custody if she wouldn't testify voluntarily. We don't know the witness's name because I knew you were going to ask. Other than TMZ says it is a woman. And we don't know what information she's believed to possess or why she's less than eager to part with said information. But we do know one thing, and that is that she's got herself a lawyer. And that surprisingly, she's got herself the very same lawyer that represents another witness in the case. And that witness is Robert Morgenroth. That's him. Do you recognize him? Do you recognize his name? Well, if you don't, I got your back. He's connected to the singer, David. And not just one way and not just two ways. He's connected in 3 different ways. First off, he's the GM of David's record label. He is the president of his tour company. And lastly, according to TMZ, he is one of 2 of David's daily managers. Mr. Morgenroth was in front of the grand jury. Not just one day, not just 2 days, but 3 days. And when he was finished, somebody overheard him chatting in the hallway. And apparently he said that he'd been grilled by that grand jury over why he didn't call the police.
Yeah.
So all I can think of is like, about what and when and where. Like, it's not exactly clear. Like, when the prosecutors thought that David's manager should have been dialing the police, when Celeste died, he should have called the police, or when Celeste's body was found, he should have called the police, or when the car was towed. Like, at which point is there something entirely different that we don't know about that they are asking about?
Yeah.
When should he have called the police? Does he know something about all of this?
Yeah, them niggas
Before
crazy.
we all did? But the manager said that he explained he didn't want to mess up David's tour, his world tour, which was just getting started. Incidentally, you probably know, if you've been following the story, that tour ended up getting canceled anywho. My next guest is following all this as closely as anybody can. Lauren Conlon is a Los Angeles Magazine contributor who also hosts the Outlier podcast. Lauren, good to have you back on the program. So it just keeps getting curiouser and curiouser. I mean, every time I see some little development, do you have any idea what connection the manager has to knowledge of the death of Celeste so that somebody would ask him why he didn't call the police?
I have the same questions as you have, Ashley, but one thing that was overheard reportedly in the hallway was something along the lines of what you said. Robert Morgenroth said, "I just wanted to keep the tour moving forward." To me, that kind of meant that the tour was still going on. So his tour started July 30th. I have to think possibly Robert Morgenroth found out some information about where Celeste was, or possibly that David was hanging out with a minor, and he decided that that wasn't his business, or that wasn't his problem, and he didn't call police. Again, I am completely speculating here, but it is interesting that this female witness, this mysterious female witness, is using the same attorney. That could mean that she possibly has some kind of connection to Mogul Vision, the company, or maybe the touring company, and they're represented under one person. But again, I don't know why she wouldn't show up.
Well, okay, so about this mystery woman, because it also had me playing parlor games in my own head today. I was wondering if she has this connection to David's manager, is it possible she might be David's mom? Because I remember early in this case learning that David's mom was extremely connected in David's music career.
I mean, sure, but I don't really understand why she wouldn't use Blair Burke, who David's using, or why she would use the same attorney on his record label when she lives in a different state.
Right.
I mean, you're right. Anything's possible. We've heard over and over to sources close to this case that absolutely nothing makes sense about it. And Ashley, you've been in court just as much as I have. Think about 3 days worth of testimony. 3 full days of somebody on the
Somebody
stand.
going to jail.
That's crazy. That's a really long time. That's
Yeah.
a lot of questioning. I mean, what were they asking this guy? What does he know?
The boy's going to jail.
All I could think was that he may have spent a lot of time in that house. It's his house, right? Is this the same manager? He's got the lease and David's living in it? Is that there's a different manager?
That's Josh Marshall, which actually it made me happy to learn that he had 2 managers, because Josh Marshall vehemently denied having daily contact with David. And that gave me pause, because I'm like, well, you're his manager. I've talked to a handful of other managers who say, no, we have a close relationship with our client. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy is the day-to-day.
So this is crazy then. 3 days on the stand is nuts. It's not approaching Jodi Arias's 17 days. That's the record that, first things that made me fall over and do a spit take. But I guess I just have to end with this question, and it's the question I will always ask you until we have resolution. Do you think that we're getting close to an arrest and that David may end up being arrested?
I want justice for this little girl so badly, Ashley, but that question is so loaded.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, because I thought there would be an arrest 2 months ago.
Me too.
Shortly after.
That's what I was confused. Like, yo, I'm telling you, that's why Hollywood. That's why I told my nephew, right? I said, bro, I'm gonna be a buck with you. Like, so much be going on in those Hollywood streets. So much be going on in those New York streets. It's so many people. Just even dudes that I don't really give props to, but it's like Say Cheese, nigga like Blair, you get what I'm saying? Dudes that's, Joe Buttons, you know what I mean? Drink Champs. These dudes got big networks and they ain't in even one of them places. And there's a reason for that shit. It's like, yo, let me be generally located. You know what I'm saying? Knowing you them working out of Miami, Buttons in New York, like LA, bro, to me, bro, it's a beautiful place, bro. It is a wonderful tourist place, bro. Sometimes I be thinking about, yo, I would want to go out there and live just because of the weather. Then I think about it like for being an entertainment, bro. Being an entertainment, yo, it's no cleanness in it. It's no cleanness, bro. Not to sound super religious or nothing, yo, but I just believe it's where the devil angels roam at, bro. So much negative shit happen out of there, and you gotta think it's big shows that came out of Colorado, it's big shows that come out of Utah, it's big shows that come out of fucking DC, it's big shows that come out of a lot of fucking places, bro. It's big fucking content creators, big movie producers, and you gotta deal in LA, but man, fucking living there and making that my primary residence and fucking with everybody out there, it's too dangerous, bro. It's a $1 billion business out there, but it's too dangerous, bro. It's too dangerous. Just imagine if the managers really ain't had nothing to do with this shit. Now you being grilled by the grand jury, this telling thing is humongous. Like, you just all caught up in something because this stupid fucking idiot don't know how to check IDs. This stupid idiot is messing around with kids, bro. He's going on world tours, man, with women 30 years old, 25. He got a fan base from 12 to 30. God damn it, bro. Like, you and then somebody's dying on your watch. If she overdose, call a fucking ambulance. Hey, man, we was in here using fucking drugs and she died. You get what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, David has cousins, he has sisters. He don't got none of that. He got a fucking mother. You get what I'm saying? You wouldn't want your mother to get done like that, or your little sister or your little cousin done like that. And then managers are like, I feel like on a manager behalf, like, yo, what the fuck, shorty? We had a big tour going on. You done got this shit all fucked up. And then the celebrities be having more influence over older people because they the breadwinners and they telling these grown men, man, shit. I would have told David, hey, David, I shook hands with you. Hey, this is the day I'm gonna have to remove myself. I'm from Baltimore, man. I'm from Baltimore. I'm from the heart of the hood. I ain't getting into this, short. Don't get me in this. Don't ever let my name pop up in this because I ain't with this. I'm letting you know up front. And I'm letting my lawyer know, man, you into messing with minors, you into vaping women, you into assaulting women, you into all that dumb shit. I'm removing myself, duck. I'm removing myself. I'm looking you in your eyes and telling you I'm removing myself, man. I'm from the streets, bro. Now I'm from the streets. I don't get caught up in assaulting women. I don't get caught up in goddamn motherfucking vaping women. I don't get caught up in drugging people, bro. I don't get caught up in that. Me and my circumference don't get caught up in that, and we are highly offended. That's a 14, 15-year-old girl in your trunk, duck. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? I'ma slap the shit out you and remove myself from it. Shorty, you stupid. You going to jail for the rest of your life. I ain't into that, bro. I ain't into that at all. I ain't into that. I don't want no grand jury pulling me up about nothing. You better tell them, hey, Fat Hand and them has nothing to do with this. You better tell them on day one, Jack. I don't want to be caught up in that, bro. We gonna have a serious problem. I mean, I ain't getting caught up in that. I don't care how far I'm making it here. Hey, yo, you decide to get the plan with them women. You decide to get the selling death tickets to dudes online and shit. Bro, you on your motherfucking home, bro. Men don't move like that. We not entertaining online beefs. We not entertaining comments, and we not messing around with underage women, and we not messing around with gold digging, thirsty, blood sucking women, bro. Grow up and recognize what you're doing. Yo, if you on the road, handle your business, bro. Business over pleasure, bro. Business over pleasure, bro. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of blood sucking out here, bro. We come to do a show, bro. You out here, man. What type of time you got on your hand, bro, that you dealing with children? You know what I mean? What type of time? How you even entertain a kid? How you don't even recognize, even if you slipped up and she lied to you about her age, bro, 14, 15 years old. It's not an experienced woman. I don't give a fuck what she tell you. You understand what I'm saying? You should know as a man, being a man that been around the block, you're a superstar. So them boys done had all types of stuff going on out California. So you should know better. The minute that you entertain that, bro, the minute that me and you ain't rolling, Jack. We ain't rolling, bro. You having a relationship, is girl running away from home. She know where to spot at, bro. You ain't even got enough confidence. You dudes is bringing women on to your residence, man. Like, man, y'all niggas play too many games, bro. And these games has led to a death of a minor. And it's consequences for that, bro. It's consequences for that, bro. And I just truly, honestly believe that. I just truly, honestly believe that. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say, but it is what it is, man. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, like the lady just said, yo, just on some man time shit, it should be justice for that girl. Should be justice for that little girl, man. And any man out here to think anything different, you crazy. You know what I mean? This ain't a Diddy situation. You know what I mean? Ain't motherfuckers coming up dead underage, bro. This is an isolated event, bro, and only have a few people hands on it, bro. And them people better get to talking before they be in yellow jumpsuits, bro. And I'm just telling you, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you something like that, bro. That ain't no street shit. I'm just keeping it real. That ain't no street shit that you sweep under the rug. That's some serious shit, bro. That any respectful, honorable man don't want to be involved in. And if I ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. I can't even say if I don't have nothing to do with no shit like that. So I don't want my name mentioned up in it. I don't want company mentioned up in it, man. We like the NFL and the NBA do. We disconnect ourselves from that individual. That individual is no longer with us, and I hope that family find justice, bro. That's what my public relation people gonna say. We have removed ourselves from this. We don't engage in this. That's it. I ain't got no time. David, you better tell these people what's going on and what you got going on and let them know I have no clue what's going on. Anything else, I'm assaulting them in the courtroom. It's going to end up in an assault charge. I'm going to have to be charged. I'm going to be whooping his ass. Like, it ain't no way around it. We all men, yo. We all men, yo. That's some fucked up shit. Let's go back to it.
And I'm sorry to say it like this, her decomposing or severed body was found in the trunk of his car. But I just go back to the fact, the rift between the ME's office and the LAPD. I mean, there is something in that autopsy report, something in that talk screen that LAPD does not want getting out there. Clearly, that alone was not enough to result in a charge or an arrest, but there's something in there that they don't want the public to know, because I feel like it's gonna send us spiraling.
Yeah, I know.
Something hot in front of the public.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, that's what it is. It's in the public eyes, bro. It's gonna be devastating what the motherfucking boys did, and they deserve to go to prison. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If they convicted of it, man, I hope them niggas get the motherfucking death penalty for that shit. Nigga, fuck that. I said what I said. I look at the camera and say, if them niggas had something to do with that little girl being in that trunk dead and didn't, you know what I mean, they deserve to get the fucking death penalty, bro. Like, ain't no motherfucking joking in that, bro. It's not. I don't find nothing funny about that. I'm some motherfucking innocent person, bro. I ain't gonna say the little girl was innocent, but god damn, my nigga, like, call the police if the girl OD'd on my mind. She used drugs, bro. Like, y'all niggas know what you call that. Y'all niggas ain't stupid out here. Y'all not stupid at all, bro. Like, y'all niggas crazy, bro. Y'all niggas playing with somebody's motherfucking daughter. And their daughter gonna be caught up in that. Like, yo, come on, Jack. That's like realer than real, bro. I can't rock out with you like that, Jack. I can't do it with you. You tripping, David. I can't get caught up in that with you, David. You feel me? I can't get caught up in that. Like, y'all niggas is putting women in the trunk and shit. Like, y'all niggas crazy. So, this is the most devastating thing I saw in 2025. I seen a lot of devastating things in 2025. Let's get that. I don't get it fucked up. But that Ksoo trial was vicious. All right. And just watching the trial, going through it, seeing everything that happened, seeing the individuals that was involved, seeing that dudes went to prison, seeing the most thing happen. I'm gonna tell y'all something before I get into this. I seen the betrayal of a father getting on the stand to testify. And it brings me to my father. Rest in peace to my pops. Rest in peace to my dad. I love my father. That's his whole name. I'm his first son, his firstborn. You know. I got arrested. Well, I got detained. I'm not gonna say arrested because I was detained for something. Me and my father share the same name. So when I was detained for it, you know, they went and got my father later on. And, you know, my father came in the police station. My father seen me in the handcuffs. He looked at them, looked at the police like, man, let my son go. My son don't have nothing to do with this. My son has absolutely nothing. And the detective was like, oh, why you ain't tell us we had you and your father had the same name? Man, get the fuck out of my face, man. I ain't got to tell you shit. That's what I told him. I ain't got to tell you shit. Y'all had me here for 7 fucking hours and knowing this ain't who y'all looking for. My father got busted up with like 150 pounds of weed. You know, boom. That's one instance with my pops. And then one time, me and my father got the same name, bro. Exact same name. Floyd R. English. That's our name. I'm junior, he's senior. But for some reason, you know, the court system be fucked up. This nigga born in the 60s something, man. Like, I'm born in 79. This nigga, like, they always confuse our records. But never really confused my record with his, but used to confuse his record with mine. And I remember I got locked up with a gun on my grandma's front porch. And my father came outside and he was like, hey, this is my son. You know, what are you getting arrested for? And the police told my father I was getting arrested for a handgun, showed him a gun. And my father turned around like, oh, he gone. You know, man, I thought that was some sucker shit. You know, that my father did. But in the event of this, you know, I don't think that my father would ever took the stand because at the end of the day, I wouldn't even involve my father in nothing that he wasn't involved in. And that's just the truth of the matter. So we seen Ksoo father, you know, get on the stand and testify, which was devastating. That he sent his son to prison for the rest of his life after never being around his son. And from my understanding that his father was never really in his life, Ksoo started having emotion. His father came around, forced his way into being a manager. And really people say, you know, that's not Ksoo's fault. You know, every kid wants their father. You know what I mean? It's not wrong with that. Every kid wants their father. So when your father come around, either your father have a good agenda or a hidden agenda. You get what I'm saying? And to me, no father, after being disconnected from his son through prison, through the streets or whatever, she'll fuck his son over. You know what I mean? So you get to hang it out and you get to doing your thing, you know, with your father. Then you get in this case and you expecting your father, your uncle, your grandfather, your big homie, your big brother. You expect them, you know, y'all in a tight situation. You expect them to hold it down, at least hold it down and show you because it's school now. Yo, he the older person. This a person I look up to. This a person I honor. This my daddy. This my uncle. This my big brother. This my, you know what I mean, whatever. And nigga fold on you. That put a, that I couldn't even explain shorty hurt. You know what I mean? Like if I did it, Dad, like let them people find their way and we gonna fight our way out of this. But your father, he sees it another way and cooperate with the state to put you down for a duration of your life. You know what I'm saying? A duration of your life. And in his case, it's the rest of his life until he get appeals and all the things that come with trying to get out of prison. But that's a long ride. That's at least a 5 to 30 year run trying to get out of prison. You know, getting back in the courts going, it's about 5 to 30 years, some 50. It's five to whenever time it takes. But I didn't see nobody get out, you know, less than 5 years. You know, when something they falsely accused, sentence get overturned, it takes about 5 to whenever. You know what I mean? Whenever. It's 5 years to whenever, you know, that y'all figure that shit out. So Ksoo took the stand and testified against his father and got caught and all that. And people are interviewing him, and I'm quite sure he's charging for the interviews, and he's moving around. He's talking about this as is it cool. I feel like, man, once you know, did what you did and the judge let you go, I feel like that should have been the end of it. You know what I mean? You said in the court that you want to take care of your kids. You said that your health declining. You said all this stuff to get out of jail what made those white people cut you loose. And now you on these interviews telling stories about when you got 180, you sharing these war stories like you're a war vet. You're not a war vet. You're not a war vet, man. You fucked up, bro. Why you this older man, 50 some years old or 60, however old you is, bro, you're not going into the mode of just doing what you said you're going to do there. Be a rat father to the rest of your kids, and hopefully they don't make the mistakes like Ksoo and trust you enough to commit a crime or call you after a crime. You should be a man, and you should be man enough to just be strong enough mentally and physically to just say, man, I fucked up. All this old talk, I done enough talking. Get your CDLs and jump on the road and mind your business, bro. Stay in the truck stops, bro. You know, send the money over. And if you can do anything, man, send them over. Try to pay for his appeal, man. Try to rekindle your statement, man. Try to do what's right. But you shouldn't be on Vlad TV and say cheese telling your fucking story. You know, your story doesn't matter to nobody. Nobody cares. The only story that you're left with is you sent your boy to prison for the rest of his life. And they was riding because they have a, you know, it's a big story about that. And you're going to do it again in the other murder trial. You're fucked up individual, man. And let's hear what this coon got to say. Like he's saying they was this much, I just can't believe it. I want to hear what the kids got to say first. Let's say that, you know, Ksoo sounded for like Ksoo say he want a DNA test. Ksoo say he want a DNA test.
Daddy, gang, that's not your fucking son. I'm his daddy.
I told y'all, bro. This is why I was.
Yeah, real shit.
And just hit that like button. You feel me? The killing of the 6-block rapper Charles McCormick and his son was sentenced to life in prison. And y'all know in Florida, once you sentenced to life in prison, ain't no such thing as parole, and you're in there until you die.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, Say Cheese posted a post saying that he's finna interview him, and literally he's already been posting interviews, and it's been going crazy on social media. And I also, Blue put up a post yesterday and said that, you know, he'll come back to Jacksonville whenever he want, if he feel like it, and went on to just say that, bro, a lot of people ain't ready to die, and the quickest way to be the Allah, and the closest thing to be the Allah is through the grave, and said that, you know, he ain't scared to die, basically.
They say I better leave Jacksonville if I want to. See, I'm Muslim. You understand? The only way to meet God is through the graveyard. See, we love death like y'all love life. That's gonna give me the odds.
That ain't true. I don't love death.
Y'all don't want to die. It don't matter to me.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Looking at that, I'm like, mad if people want to say he not lying, because a lot of people are scared to die. So him saying the way he's saying really don't keep people from, you know, coming up on him.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this.
Really willing to risk their freedom. And
that man saying he ready to die, but he ain't ready to die when that slug hit him. boom, boom, boom. When that pistol hit him, boom, or that knife hit him. Or he in a tragic accident and you don't feel your legs and your arms no more. Dudes be talking that they want to die shit until something really happened. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They play that die, my Zay, little dude Zay. I'll be watching, but look at it, Zay. Look at Zay. But dudes say they don't want. I'm Muslim. You know what I mean? And it's a quote in the Bible. It say, "He who fears death is in denial." That's a fact. Nobody is afraid to go when it's time to go. But ain't nobody taunting that shit. The Ksoo father taunting, I'm Muslim and we love death more than we love life. Hell no. Hell no. We believe there's a life after death, and we believe there's a day of judgment. But hey, I'm here now. You get what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on when you in the grave. Hey, one dead person came back out the grave and say, this is the process when you die. So I can't go with that, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a rat. He's a despicable man. And he still, after the end of the day, when he muscled his way to being shorty manager, all the stuff that they saying on the internet, because at the end of the day, you know, he's the type of guy that anything that the internet says about him, I believe. Some dudes get put in that situation. He's a fucked up nigga, so we seen him get on the stand and testify. So anything that in we believe. But dudes is letting him tell us horrific stories. Yeah, exactly. He had an opportunity to die in prison. You know what I mean? He didn't do that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to say this to say this, right? He's on there telling horrific stories like they counted. Like they got him clipping. Like I'm saying if I was with a team and they say, you know, I was getting paid like a lot of these dudes are. They say you got to interview Ksoo father. I don't want to do it. Oh, you got to do it. The company, whatever. You know, okay, we doing it. Nothing in my interview will start out with where you from, Jacksonville, Florida. What was it like growing up? When you caught your first bit? He's not telling no horrific stories. You know, me as a journalist, I'm gonna let him introduce himself to my audience, to my almost 6,000 subscribers, because we don't know him. You know what I mean? He ain't famous for nothing. He's famous for telling. You know what I mean? And I will get into that where you from, a little bit old, you know, the first time you caught a bit. Then I'll ask him, how could you live with yourself every day as a man knowing that you put your baby behind bars? Ain't a parent supposed to protect a child to the bloody end? You know, and that's where my questions will come in at. It's no other questions to ask. Yo, how you feel about your son? You gonna go back to court now? He convicted, all that. You gonna go put the money together to get him a lawyer and rekindle your statement? Is you gonna do that? Is you gonna wait till you off probation and go back and rekindle your statement and say you was gone and coerced? What you gonna do to get him out of jail? Because at the end of the day, we ain't gotta talk about that you ratted. That's all you gotta do is Google your name, and that's gonna come up. That's public records. But what we don't know is, yo, after you done fucked your son over and you got what you call this shit called freedom back, what's next? What's next? How you even feel comfortable with people paying you to talk about some fuck shit you did to your son? Why you don't just go jump in the truck and ride up and down motherfucking 95 in the highways, bro, and hide in the rest stops, bro? Why you got to be talking with a man, Pooh Shiesty mask on and fake cardies on your face, man? That's what I don't understand. And I don't understand how I say cheese, bro. Like these millions of views, right? These millions of views, bro. You got the Luigi Mangione case going on. You got the Epstein's files going on. You got a lot of wild shit going on out here that'll blow your page up, and your page is already blown hundreds of millions of views. Why the fuck is this what you want to bring out after that boy's sitting in jail? You ain't running around and saying, yo, let me talk to little Ksoo, how you feel about your father doing this to you. You niggas is running after the pops. You don't want to get that $5,000, $10,000 to shorty because that shit can go to a lawyer to try to get him back out. He young, you never know. Like things change. He was a teenager when he got locked up. You know, the way they do them kids down in Florida, deadly. So we don't know the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years if they're going to change the law and Ksoo will have a chance. You know what I mean? And Ksoo might have a chance. They changed the laws. He was a juvenile when he got locked up for the shit, bro. Been locked up 5 years, 20-something years old. So he's been locked up since he was 18. You know, the mind ain't working like that. Then he was influenced by his pops. I want to, like you said, G, you said that. I want to hear from Ksoo mother, the brother and sister, you know, speaking out and saying they want a DNA test. And I would too. Like, yo, that's some shit that you sit in the cell And you really think about it, my mother or father, it's instances that happen. He's not the Ksoo, not the first nigga that parents flipped on him. You know what I mean? It's not a thing that you gonna hear a bunch of inmates saying on a tier. But hey, you might catch 5 or 6 niggas that can relate to that. You know what I mean? People send them to jail every day. Don't ever get it fucked up. It goes on in the courtroom, but the circumstances might have been different. You know, a kid might have did some dumbass shit and got his people all fucked up, and his people saying, fuck that, I'm not getting caught up in this shit with you. But from my understanding is you running around, you managing them. Just like with this David case, you managing them, you real close with them. They called on you when that situation happened because you his father and also his big homie. He thinking all that gangster shit because you talking that gangster shit on TV now. So all that gangster shit you was telling them to his little homies, their little minds don't know no better. So my man Ksoo Farm, a real nigga, went to the joint. They don't know you're a rat because they kids. They didn't know you was cooperating back since you was a little nigga. They don't know this is in you. They don't know this. All they know is the stories you told, and this my pops. He back around. They called you for a reason, bro. It was plenty of older people and older men in their family, bro, that they didn't call because they know they ain't into that. They called you, bro, because you was into that and you was embracing certain shit, bro, and you crack. That's finishing what they got to say.
You know, have a chance that they may die. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to risk their life in doing something that can cause them to be gone forever. And him saying that he's ready and he's not scared, that's just, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Now, the only thing that threw me out by that situation is him saying that, you know, y'all don't want to die, but it don't matter to me. Meaning, like, you ready to die, but you couldn't sit in jail for some years with your son. Like, I'm not saying that what he did was wrong, but I'm just saying, like, for you to just be ready to die, like, if you ready to die, you would have just been willing to sit in jail with your son. I'm pretty sure you'd rather be alive than be dead. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but end of the day, that's his life. Now, as I said, Ksoo brother spoke out. P Malik Robinson, aka P.Ksoo. He's a close friend of, you know, Young and Ace, but he's also Ksoo big brother. Now it's funny because I did my research on this guy, and this guy P.Ksoo actually went to jail back in 2015 for shooting somebody in the leg at the beach. And guess who he was defending when he shot the man in the leg? His little brother Ksoo. As I did my research, I think Ksoo got beat up when they got into a fight or something like that, and he came to his brother rescue. And he shot a man in the leg, and he served 5 years in prison. Now, he saw everything and went on to his Instagram story, and I ain't gonna lie, he went up on Ksoo Daddy.
Your old green ass got on the shiesty mask, gang. Why the fuck your green ass got on the NSG chain on, gang? Like, come on, man. Get your old washed up out the way, man. You doing interviews trying to prosper off my brother's name. Who fat nigga? You're not no fucking daddy, gang. It's not your fucking son. Nigga. I'm his daddy. Fuck, nigga. What you talking about, nigga? You came around with my son when my brother was turned up, man. You ain't come around when my brother was in school or none of that. Nigga ain't never did shit for real for my brother, nigga. What you talking about, nigga? All you did was use my brother. Then now you trying to act like you this and that, and you had to do this to be there for your kids. You weren't even there for my brother, nigga. What you talking about your kids, nigga? Fuck all your kids, nigga. What you talking about, nigga? Talking about you ready to die.
Now wait, before we get back into this crazy video, bro, I got a surprise for y'all.
Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, yo. That boy Blue a wild nigga, bro. That's why I said if you fuck with a nigga like Blue, we can't be friends. I ain't gonna hold you. And I feel like Say Cheese and Vlad and them niggas getting money. For Say Cheese, I said no. For 1090 Jake and Vlad TVs and all them white platforms, yeah. But Say Cheese, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, I couldn't even, like, bro, I wouldn't even want to talk to you, bro. Like, bro, if I do, bro, you got, yo, listen, Ksoo, how much that lawyer cost? Oh, man, we need 50 for the lawyer, man. Anybody want to talk to you, we doing it for the 50. That's it. Anybody want to hear from our family, we doing it for the 50. We doing it for whatever's going to cost to get you home, bro. Whatever we got to do to appeal, whatever money. We ain't talking to these goofies after they went to him first. Like, come on, bro. We ain't dealing with these people. These people fucked up, bro. Like, these people fucked up. Shorty behind that motherfucking door hurting, bro. He behind that motherfucking door hurting with that bow. He got that bow rock, bro. I know a lot of people that watch these channels and shit never been to prison, and you think all the slick shit you see on prison with niggas making hookups and dancing and making videos, that's what day-to-day life like. Oh, fuck or no. You know, eventually those cell phones get knocked off, bro. Eventually it's consequences for having that shit, bro. And just as many niggas got cell phones, just as many niggas don't. Just as many niggas standing there cooking and laughing, just as many niggas don't. You know what I mean? And you not, and listen now, when you think about dudes like Pooh Shiesty who went to jail, you think about fat, you know, a lot of these dudes is telling you they went to jail. They ain't in them environments where them niggas got them Rocky Balboas. They ain't in that maximum, super max, ultra max facility with niggas with life. You know what I mean? You can't put a motherfucking nigga in certain states that have a fresh life sentence amongst dudes that got 30 and 20 years. You feel what I'm saying? They like to put dudes, they like to keep niggas like with 30 years and under, with niggas just doing that. They like to keep dudes 15 years and under together. They like to keep dudes with 5 and under. When you start talking numbers 30 and over, they be on rehabilitation. You get what I'm saying? They be on, you know what I'm saying? You got a long time, you know, 30 years, you know, you can move around and get out in 15 to 18 years. So, you know, you have a date. So you might not just be this super crash out because, you know, every year is closer to your home date. But when you got those never numbers like 50 years in life and 80 years and 100 years, they're never date. They're never dates. So with those never dates, they be around in them environments. And those environments don't be the most ruthless environments because they're dudes' homes. You got 50 years and life sentence like that. Those prisons become your home. So you ain't really, you catching stuff like cell phone, catching a little contraband, got good jobs. You ain't really ready to blow that. You get what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story for a whole nother prison politics. But it's still that when you in those certain facilities, that death is a way of revenge. And what I mean by that, when you wear a bunch of dudes with a lot of time and life back, when they disrespect or when a fight go down, it's to the death. Like anything, there's a misunderstanding. If it's not ironed out immediately, it's a knife fight to the end. It's a knife fight in the end because once you labeled as a killer and you go inside of these facilities, unfortunately, you might have to show that you will kill outside and inside. So we never know what that kid Ksoo going through. And then he's young, so they tend to put the young wild niggas with the young wild niggas, and young wild niggas be having to be like 35 to 40 years old before they calm down. You know what I mean? So that's like one of the biggest things out. So what I'm saying is, so I don't know where he's at. I don't know too much about Florida joints, but him being like 22, 23 years old, he'd been in North Branch, which is out the worstest prison in Maryland. And that facility, the dudes is famous for killing their cell buddies in their sleep. You know what I mean? That's them type of facilities he been putting in those type of facilities. By Blue being so old and having health issues, and he'd had that boy, they probably would have piped him down. He probably wouldn't have had a maximum, you know, security level. They probably put him medium too. But he will Ksoo going that, bro. He got to stand on them too. Yeah, he gonna be a big celebrity in the joint. Yeah, people gonna run with him for his hood. Yeah, all that. But the misery, bro, that bitch do every night, 9 o'clock. Dude! That's how that sounds. Dude! 2, 3 in the morning, you hearing weird shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. So this shit that Ksoo in, the Ksoo situation is fucked up. I know it's hard on a nigga, bro. Like, did you have to wake up? Like, when I went to jail, when I went to prison, right? I knew that I knew that I was getting out. You know what I mean? When they locked me up, they told me my release date was 2017. So my release date 2017, I could do my thing. You feel me? Meaning that I could do my time because 1 year gone, 2 years gone, 3 years gone. I have a date to look at. You understand? I have a day. You know what I'm saying? On people, you know, with certain sentences, bro, you should say 2090 or deceased. You know what I mean? That's when you leave, and that's not good. You know, that's not good in no type of ways. You know what I'm saying? That's not good in no type of ways, and it's really sad, man. It's really sad, bro. It's a really sad situation. It's a really sad situation. And one thing for sure, and 2 things for certain. You know, Ksoo put out music, you know, royalties and things of that nature. Hopefully, you know, rest in peace to the deceased in this. And hopefully, you know, I say when you go to prison, you know, Ksoo young, you know what I mean? When you go to prison, you know, they put you in here, but you can't, they can lock your body, but can't trap your mind. So you should overall, it might take him a while because he's young, you like, before you know it, like with that type of time, before you know it, he gonna wake up. He'll be 35. And y'all might not understand that, but somebody that been to prison, they tell you, yeah, boy been locked up. But the boy been locked up since what? Ksoo was locked up since he was 17, 18 years old. So you ain't even get to live life. So most of your life is lived behind the door. I think he was locked up since he was 6. It took him 5 years before he went to trial. He was 17, 18 when he got locked up. How old is Ksoo? Oh, let me go to how old is Ksoo? $23. Oh, Hakeem Ryan better know his case. So he 27 years old. He was 26 during his murder trial. He 27 years old. Damn. He been locked up since 2020. So he been locked up since he was 22 years old. Jesus. Yeah, that's a hard one. So I thought he was younger. I thought he was younger than that. I had to Google, boy, 27 years old. So he been locked up since he was 22. Jesus. So I mean, he had 22 years of life on the streets, bro. Like, whoa. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, reason why I was saying 16, 17 years old, bro, is, 18, you stand a chance. You get what I'm saying? 22 years old, that kind of like puts you in committing a crime and getting caught up. That kind of puts you at that age limit. But it's still young, but still he been locked up for the last 5 years since 2020. So the next 5 years, he's put it like this. Ksoo at that age at 27, the way as though, he still probably got a little bit of that shit to get out of him. So he'll be a different type of nigga in the next 5 years. I'm just being on thanks, yo. You know what I mean? Thanks. You know what I mean? Thanks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, he got life. So 27 years old, he already got 5 years in. So they putting him in a certain type of facility. So when he get in this facility, man, he might, first and foremost, he young. So he might get in this facility. He might get in this facility and straight change his life. Let's not take that off the table. He might get in this facility and say, man, I've been locked up 5 years, man. I'm trying to get in the law library and work it out. That's a 50-50 chance. Or he can get in this facility and so many niggas gonna be dick riding. Yo, Ksoo this, Ksoo that. I listen to your music. So he can go off of that jail fame for the next 5 years. For his first 5 years in the institution, because dudes in the institution been locked up their whole life and ain't even though he didn't get to do a lot, what he did is a lot. The dudes that been in and out of jail their whole life. So he'll get that fame, but that fame dies out in about 5 years. We give him benefit of the doubt. Your first 5 years, he been locked up 5 years already. He had a big public trial. So he got the fan mail coming in. He got all types of shit going on. But that's 5 years after the trial. That's what we're talking about. Once he got 10 years in, who is Ksoo after 10 years of incarceration? Who is Ksoo in the next 5 years? You know what I mean? What have he accomplished in trying to get his freedom back? How many did his pills get shot down? What's going on with him? Did he find loopholes in his case? What is Ksoo in? You know what I mean? The next 5 to 10 years, that's the Ksoo that you guys gotta look forward to. But let's get back into some of this shit this nigga Blue was talking about. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I wanna see some of this shit in here, case they tell that boy to leave motherfucking Jacksonville. They tell him to Blue say he ain't leaving Jacksonville, man. That boy Blue said he doing what the fuck he want. He doing what he want. That's I leave Jacksonville if I want to. If you know like I know, Shorty, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I would have to I mean, them kids wild down Jacksonville. And them young boys wild, you know what I'm saying? Wherever they at, them young boys are extremely wild, I advise Blue to leave Jacksonville, but I advise them to leave him alone And don't get in the shenanigans of the internet because he is a state witness. He is a state witness, and the judge and them know that it's rough for him. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what make it in. But, you know, the way these Jacksonville, you seen these Julio, Fulio murder, and you seen some of these Jacksonville murders and some of these Jacksonville's encounters. These dudes, these young dudes don't give a fuck. So it might be in Blue's best interest to get out of there and talk that shit from his apartment in one of them dog states. But, you know, Jacksonville ain't the place for him. You know, and Florida is a big ass place, you know what I mean? And it's not too far from South Carolina and Georgia. So, you know, you could get over in a couple other states and you could be left alone. Blue could disappear in the South. You know what I mean? But he's putting himself out there. He could disappear in the South. This is a Florida thing. I don't think whatever rat cave he decided to go in, nobody really gives two fucks about him. Just the young kids are saying, oh, you the rat nigga Blue. But then he's a truck driver or some shit like that. He go drive trucks or something, or go somewhere and work overnight shift. I don't know what that nigga gonna do, but I advise him to get out of Jacksonville. But I advise them dudes that hate him, man, to watch, watch what they say because they watching everything. Or after you testify nowadays, they don't give a fuck about it. Everybody talking about this shit. Niggas can't get into it. They told me he made millions of dollars selling dope. Like, Shorty like Vlad just want to have him just talking. Vlad breaking it down in the then Say Cheese, he posting clips. These clips ain't even doing no numbers like y'all thought. Like, that's ain't saying millions. Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't understand it. Like, why y'all love it so much. You know what I mean? I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. I just want to hear what he got to say. I don't think it's all the way out there. I really don't. I don't think it's out there at all. Okay, I want to see. Like, I want to get to the nitty gritty. Like, why the fuck you been a rat nigga with your son? They beating around the bush. Somebody beat 4 murder cases. Like, this is crazy. Dang, what the fuck they got to beef with me for? These dudes be doing this. I'm trying to find on this rat. It's tough to have it in there. I don't even listen to Rollo. Rollo was a red slobber linking to the Ock, but I watch his little building blogs. I don't get into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get into that gangster shit with these niggas, bro. Yeah, like I don't know. Shout out to Keeping It the G News and the boy Sean G, man. I fucks with them. They my peoples. You know what I mean? Dudes that keep it really, really real. Like, dudes that ain't afraid to just stand up and speak their fucking mind. Because they grilling me on Facebook because I said free Diddy. Who cares? You know what I mean? He ain't put out the real shit making millions. Like, he's putting out the clips of this dude somewhere he making millions of dollars. Cool, bro. We want the macaroni and the cheese. Why you interview this red? Like, that's just what I want to know. You just got the 2 clips out. That's how they doing the content. It's good clips, but it's not it. That's not it. I want to see. It ain't the full interview right now because I ain't about to play no clips of him talking about, bro, I was, I'm a big time, I made millions selling dope in the streets. Hell no. It ain't no such thing as that in my eyes. I don't want to hear Blue telling his stories of, keeping it gangster and shit like that. I don't want to, like, I can't do it. When the full interview come out, I'll take the bits and pieces out because I just want to know what declared you to be so much of a rat, Blue. Like, and then still talking rat gangster shit. Like, man, give it up. Doug is over. Give it up. Give it up, bro. Give it up, bro. Give it up. Give it up, bro. Give it up. Give it up. I can't handle it. Give it up. So let's get into this update with Sayso P. Sayso. So we all know Sayso P is Sauce Walker artist that was killed in his hometown of Memphis when they was going there. I don't know, it was a setup. So many people saying different stuff about it, you know, but I ain't been thinking about it lately. So I said, let me get into this. Let me find out what he got going on. Let me find what he got going on. Let me find out what he got going on. There's some new shit came up with OTF Ronnie that Trench's News was talking about. That boy 50 Cent on Sherry. That boy 50 That boy 50 Cent. That boy 50 Cent a fucked up nigga. They got here, my man, every politician got say, I'm getting to keep it a G. What these niggas say about this nigga? I got to hear that shit. Somebody got some good news, man. News I fuck with on the internet, man. Hit that notification button, man. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. It's a different type of hit. It's a different type of feel. You know what I mean? It's a different type of hit, different type of feel. With this one, they go crazy.
Jacksonville rapper Ksoo took another dramatic turn when his own father took the stand to testify against him. Akeem Robinson, also known as Ksoo, and his cousin Leroy Whitaker Jr. are both charged in the 2020 shooting death of 23-year-old Charles McCormick Jr.
See your son Hakeem Robinson in the courtroom here today.
Yes.
Can you tell us where he's seated and what he is wearing?
He's seated between the two lawyers right there with a beige suit on.
Abdul Robinson Sr., known on the streets as Blue, took the stand.
Is cooperating in this case something that is easy for you to do?
No, this is the most hardest decision I've had to make in my life. Yes.
Who is the person that was captured on the video recording shooting Charles McCormick?
My son.
What's your son's name?
Hakeem.
Damn. Damn, Ksoo, Robert.
The murder of Charles McCormick. Did you become aware of a
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in on one of the craziest, wildest, unexpected stories that I've seen since the rap game, the streets, and the internet have all got intertwined and tied in as one conglomerate where we now seeing all this stuff that get mixed all the way up, put in real time with this age of information, when we see live streams right direct inside of the courtroom with artist music that we might listen to. And it's been several of these cases in hip hop. But the one that makes this thing stand out is you have a father by the name of Blue, who was son is Ksoo, who was building the name out of Jacksonville, Florida, caught this murder case, and most definitely with this storyline. Condolences to anybody lost on any side. Most definitely, may God rest their souls and rest in peace. But seeing a father go to court, and you can hear him going through it even while he's on the stand, that he had to make that decision. He felt that I'm going to send my son to prison. Now, that's out here with a lot of mixed feelings. You got a lot of people, most of the people, I'm saying, nah, I would never do that to my son. I would never send my son. I don't care what the circumstances are. Some people are saying, hey, include him now, that, bro, I wasn't a part of that crime. They were supposed to let me go and things of that nature. Well, after these interviews came out, not one, but two that he's done now, and it's crazy because he didn't just testify on one son, essentially sending him to prison for life, which there was other people testifying to, no doubt about it. But his other son, Abdul Jr., testified. Their testimony hurt him as well. But not one, but two sons. He goes and does not one, but two paid interviews, I want to say. One would say Cheese, and then they both dropped on the same day. And they both got him wearing the same outfit. And he did want that other dude, I'm not going to say his name on YouTube right now on the video because you know how the game go. You know what we got going on right now. We'll get to that on another. That's another conversation. We ain't saying his name, but he put an interview out too. So doing an interview about testifying on your son, so that's the only reason he's getting this interview. And I guess he wants to tell this side of the story, but his son is like this. He posted up Lil Durk's song, No Interviews. Then he also put up, we need to take a blood test because this F nigga ain't my daddy. So me seeing that, he probably feels a way like, dog, like you done did this already. Now you going to go to the internet and talk about it?
Yeah.
Like under no circumstances is this supposed to go on like this. Now, I don't know how his upbringing was with his son, or things like that, but he's on the internet now, and this Instagram page, they posted this on Say Cheese, they tagged him, and so it started hitting the blogs. He's saying, hey, bro, I didn't raise my sons to go do nothing street. I didn't raise them to go on missions and be on drills and nothing like that. They were supposed to cut me loose because they knew I had nothing to do with that case. But for them to sit there and just let me go look at prison and face prison and lose my whole life, because he was going to go to prison for life if he would have went to trial and not testified and got convicted. The evidence was there. Let's keep it all the way 100. The evidence was all the way there. No doubt about it. So he's saying that other side of it. But I just want to say this right here. Seeing that interview would make anybody's son feel away. Like, hold on, bro. You went doing interviews for this now?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be on our side of the lip. I'm not pocket watching, but I know that they paid for this. Like, I wouldn't think that he was going to do this for free. He like an old OG out the streets. He been out here thugging. He done time in prison, a lot of time in prison.
Definitely ain't no OG.
So he gonna go get his paper. You know what I'm saying? If he gonna do the interview, he ain't finna do it for free. He'd be crazy too. But to see how this played out, it's one of them wild ones right here. I just want to say this. I don't know what all he gonna say in the interview because it's coming out by clips.
Yeah.
But I would hope that he just like push that message out there, like, bro, this is one of the hardest things I do. You can hear the emotion of him on the stand. Like, hey, bro, this is one of the hardest things I had ever do in life, bro.
I wouldn't have did it.
Do y'all best to stay out of this situation. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I wouldn't have did it.
I understand people growing up in it. And all we all went to elementary school, middle school, high school with partners who either jumped out there early on the porch or either got into that lifestyle later, bro.
Yeah.
But these type of situations right here, seeing this in real time, this should be elected. This can't happen to anybody if you out there like that.
Yeah.
Now, the situation with the daddy, I ain't seen that one before. I done seen the brothers and the cousins and the families and the homeboys.
Nigga daddy did that to him, man. We ain't gonna keep being on nigga blue. Nigga blue fucked up, bro. Nigga blue fucked up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Blue fucked up, bro. We ain't know what you
Curtis, people know about this.
Show the boy Derek Grove, man. He got back in court.
In today's video, I wanted to do
he got back in court. The dude that escaped and stayed on the run for like 90 days in Louisiana. They gave that boy 2 life sentences plus 100 years. You know what I mean? They ain't do no whole bunch of holding him up. In 2 life sentences plus 100 years, man. He down in Angola. Do I think that he would stand a chance? Do I think that he would stand a chance on appeal and shit like that? I believe Derek Grove. I said that. I believe Derek Grove was fucked over. You know, a lot of dudes sitting in Louisiana say Louisiana court system is very corrupt and unjust. You know what I mean? That's just what I heard. That's just what's going on. They wild down there, man. They wild down there. And yeah, that boy, that's tough. You know, that's tough. Like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, there you go. Everybody talk about that. Everybody talk about that Derrick Rose situation.
We have more breaking news now. Derrick Groves, one of the inmates who escaped the Orleans Parish Jail, remember back in May, he will spend life behind bars. He received multiple life sentences in connection to a deadly shooting on Mardi Gras Day back in 2018. WDSU reporter Cassie Sherm has a reaction from prosecutors.
That sentencing comes after years of delays, retrials, and also a historic jailbreak, opening up wounds for those who lost their loved ones and had to go through the process over and over again. Today, they say they finally are getting their justice.
Today marks the conclusion of the final chapter in a long and very painful and deeply disruptive saga.
What should have been a joyful Mardi Gras day in 2018 turned into a nightmare. Jamar Robinson and Byron Jackson were shot and killed. That sent shockwaves through New Orleans. The man responsible, Derrick Groves, would spend years fighting accountability.
Imagine going through the same set of facts over and over and over again and thinking that door's closed.
The case stretched across multiple trials, including a retrial required under Louisiana's unanimous jury law. Last October, a unanimous jury convicted Groves on 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. But before sentencing could happen, Groves escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail, becoming the last inmate at large in one of the largest jailbreaks in Louisiana history.
He's a sociopath who continued to rain down terror on the lower Ninth Ward, on the people of New Orleans, to his own gain.
In regards to the 2018 shootings, a judge sentenced him to 2 mandatory life sentences, plus additional time for the attempted murders, ensuring he will be spending the rest of his life behind bars.
And today in court, as Groves is getting sentenced to life imprisonment, he's laughing, he's making faces at the victim's family, he's trying to talk to his family.
Prosecutors say this moment is not about the attention surrounding Groves, but about the lives that were taken.
Although Groves got a lot of local, state, and national attention, the real focus should always remain on those lives that were taken.
Now, Groves still faces separate charges when it comes to the jailbreak, and that's something that we're going to be following very closely. Reporting here in New Orleans, I'm Cassie Sherm, WDSU News.
I gave that boy that bull. Wasn't no joke with that. He called that bull. He called that bull.
Derrick Groves was sentenced for the 2018 Mardi Gras murder of 2 men. That sentencing comes 2 months after he was found in Atlanta.
This settlement check completely changed my life.
That boy done. You know what I mean? This is when we get into the news flash. Derrick Rose get that elbow. Dang. That boy got 2 life sentences. I mean, I don't know what y'all expect when somebody. Now, I guess y'all expected him, you know, and his case had a lot of twists and turns. They found him hung jury at first, mistrial. I'm not sure. I didn't get all into the crazy. I'll do a video. Me and Spence get together and do a video of it. But I didn't find this and that and this with this, right? But I did find this. I believe that it's some wild shit going on with Shorty case. And like I said, again, New Orleans court system and jurisdiction system down there is fucked up. You know, that's a fact. Don't ever go to sleep and wake up and think that New Orleans, you know, is just a place you're going to get justice. You know what I mean? Hell no. So, you know, it's crazy though. You know, appeals not off the table. You know, a higher court outside of Louisiana has to see that. I mean, I'm quite sure he's gonna put his appeals in. You know, I think it seemed like his family gonna fight with him. You know what I'm saying? He in a tight situation, and he got, like I said, he's another one. He's been locked up since 2018. He got a lot of time in, but that process is now and forever to try to get back out of prison. And in his situation, the jailbreak is just time you gonna have, and by the time he finish, with court, with that shit, by the time his appeal and all that shit come in play, and if he's granted the opportunity, because God got the last say. So if he's granted the opportunity and such, he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. He'd be all right. I think that New Orleans convicted him the wrongly thing. So, I don't know how it is in New Orleans, but a jailbreak, I don't think carry more than 10 years. So like 10 years for that. And by the time the pills and going back and fighting in court, he had that time in. The whole thing he want to do is get back those life sentences in that 100 years, and he could deal with whatever they gonna give him for the jailbreak, even if it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could give him, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, Dark Grove got a long fight. And I probably, what I'm gonna do is, man, I said next year, man, some of these horrific cases, I'll let them dry out, and then I'll reach out. You know what I'm saying? I'll send, I'll drop, for those dudes incarcerated that just want a platform to tell their story, I don't mind, you know what I'm saying, donating to them or putting the Cash App link up there and whatever, come in there, send it to them. I'm gonna reach out to Dark Grove, once this thing cool down, because I don't like to jump on top of shit when it's hot. But reach out to him, man, just to get his story. Nobody got his story, and that's what my platform about is. I like to give artists, ex-offenders, anybody their story. This is a platform to tell your story with no judgment. You know what I mean? This is your story. It's coming from your mouth. But anything you say can and will use against you on the internet. That's my motto. True indeed. But yeah, Derrick Rose, he's washed. So this P Diddy and 50 Cent thing is still going on, and 50 is having his way. And Academic and Main old Yacht, and it's a few yacht beefs in the ghetto. The internet ghetto. The shit is ghetto as fuck. But 50, man, hey, bro, 50 has all the way went there. The boy Curtis Jackson waited and waited till he's pushing 50 to go all the way there. You know what I mean? Like, I told you 50 lost his point in my book. Like, 50 set tripping. I gotta hear what Dame gotta say about this shit, yo. Real shit. I gotta hear what my man Dame Dad's gotta say about real shit. I think that was a low blow to Diddy. And people grilling me on Facebook because I said free Diddy for all the people that's afraid to say it. And like I said, I got my own opinion, Doug. I'm not saying Diddy's not in jail for, what that Cassie incident. If he goes to jail for that, that's his consequences for that. That was fucked up. And no man should do that to a woman. He agrees that himself. Everybody agree with that. All the men in the circle is gonna agree with that. You shouldn't put your hands on that woman that did all that. That you was wrong for that. That's some sucker ass shit. That's anything happen. It happens. You get what I'm saying? It happens. Domestic violence goes on every fucking day. It happens. You know what I mean? It was on camera, so it looks so horrific. I'm saying the trial. I'm focused on the trial and what happened in the Diddy trial. Nothing else, bro. Nothing else. He wasn't on trial for that domestic dispute you seen between him and Cassie at the time. He was on trial for a whole bunch of stuff that I felt like that was lies and scandal, and I felt like he was railroad for the shit that he done. Man, God punishing him. He got 50 months in there, and it's not even about the Mann Act. For anything that he did to hurt people, he served time in prison, a long time in prison. 4 years is a lot for a 50-plus-year-old man. Let's not ever overlook that. And he's been in jail for a minute now. There's a couple more Christmases, a couple more Thanksgivings. So that's what I'm saying, bro.
The call, y'all. Call Top Dog Law. That.
You know what I mean? Straight up.
There was a cameraman. Going back to the Diddy doc, there was a cameraman who released a statement to Rolling Stone. Now, this cameraman, I told you guys this on December 1st. But the difference is the cameraman is now coming out and actually putting his name on it. But on December 1st, and it's December 12th now, I told you guys that when we were trying to figure out how Netflix got this exclusive footage of Diddy recording himself right before he
Lauren
was locked
LaRosa
up.
had the story first.
Yes. So I told you guys then that Diddy was in conversation for a Netflix documentary that Netflix denies. They denied that conversation, but he was in this conversation allegedly. There was things being recorded because he had been working on his own documentary of some sort. His main person that he hired for to shoot this documentary was out of town, so they hired a third party to come in and shoot for a few days. And that person is the person who Netflix has been dealing with now.
So that whole story about Diddy not paying the camera people, that wasn't true. False.
Well, let me tell you. So the rep at the time had told me they didn't really know for sure. They were trying to figure it all out. They believed that money wasn't paid because basically they're still trying to figure out liability. I talked to them yesterday after this statement was released. They're still trying to figure out liability because they don't know who the issue falls on. At first, they believed that the third party camera people were not paid, and that's why they owned it and were able to potentially license it. But now it sounds like because they've spoken to this main, videographer, that is not true. And this guy came out and basically said, I was away for 3 days. I was out of town. I hired a third party person. That person filmed Diddy for a couple days.
Which is wild, by the way, anyway. I'm going to hire a third person that we all don't know to come in here and shoot private video. That's wild.
He doesn't get into what how deep their relationship went. So maybe it was a third party that he worked for before or that he hires on other projects. A lot of times, you're a smaller company. You
Hit that notification button.
Yeah, but so basically now he's standing on. He's saying that there is no issue about money, that this is an issue about what you could legally do, not do, and just morally what you shouldn't have done. He's basically saying that this guy was in the wrong. Now, Netflix back on December 1st gave me a statement. I did reach out to them for something additional now that this guy is, coming out and standing on what he said, but they haven't given me anything new. But back on December 1st, or right after that, they said to me that they obtained everything legally, and that saying anything against that is false, and they're standing on that. So, yeah. Now,
So now we know how the video made it to 50's doc.
Well, you knew on December 1st.
Tell them again, Lauren.
Yeah, you knew from the latest Lauren LaRosa on the Breakfast Club was my point. But I'll make sure that I, do all the things to make sure that you guys can see it. I guess more places or something, because people was acting like they didn't know, and I'm like, I told y'all that 2 weeks ago.
Talk your talk, LL Cool Bay.
Yeah. Thank you for the bomb. I never got a bomb.
Okay. All right.
Dang, I'm so traumatized. Speaking of the Netflix doc, though, y'all remember Dame Dash was up here talking about the doc would never come out.
How can we forget?
Exactly. So he did an interview with the ladies of POV, Point of View, and they asked him, how does he feel now that the doc has come out? Let's take a listen to Dame Dash.
It was trending. The Diddy Combs Reckoning. Did you check it out?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so we know that you were saying that it was not going to come out. So how do you feel that it actually is?
I honestly thought, based on moral codes and coming from where a street ethic,
right?
I honestly didn't think that he would ever do that.
Why though?
Because I wouldn't.
Why he has done.
Because it's just not my job to tell. I'm not a black man that's going to tear another black man now. Let them do that. But also, if somebody, again, allegedly, it just seems like somebody, violated his baby mother in front of his kid. So yeah, but that's not how we deal with things from where we're from.
Did you check him on the back end?
Hey,
Did you check him on the back end?
I know you're girls, but I'm not answering that. But what I'm saying is,
No, Dame. That's not the reason you said the doc wasn't coming out. You actually didn't give a reason, but you didn't make it a moral code thing.
No.
Cut it out.
I do. I mean, Dame's not wrong for that, bro. 50 shouldn't have did the doc. That's just everything I say. 50 shouldn't have did the doc. I don't care, bro. He shouldn't have did it, bro. You know what I mean? So
now 50 Cent just lit the
how y'all feel in the comment box? If 50 had put that out there, I think that was, even if Dame said the doc wasn't coming out, I would think what Dame said is true. Where we come from, and the way it go, if they gonna tear him down, let them do it. That ain't your job. If you feel a way about the man, you feel a way about the man, 50. I'm not knocking the way you feel about the man, but we know the way that you feel about the man is because of I don't know you personally to know, But my opinion and just observing everything in y'all relationship, y'all got pictures out there smiling and laughing and hanging out. You wrote music for the man. You made money with the man. Something came about where as though, we know that rich people get to talking shit. We know rich people go crazy. We know that everybody has things going on. We know that y'all get along different, just like comedians. And person lowers joke, comedians will make jokes. We know how the rich and famous get down with each other. But I never seen in my years of living somebody go this low. And I seen some low blows in entertainment through all the Hollywood platforms. We done seen Hollywood scandals. But in Black Hollywood, that was a low blow. In Black Hollywood, some people that's in Black Hollywood don't come from the bottom, don't come from the struggle, don't come from the streets. You get what I'm saying? And you do 50. That's what I'm saying. Just man to man. I'm just talking to 50. You come from the streets, bro. We followed your whole career, bro. We followed your whole career as fans, bro. We followed your whole career and we respected your career. You have a industry beef that landed, all crazy with the Murder Inc. thing. We all tripped off you with the Ja Rule jokes. You and Ja going back and forth. By the way, I like Murder Inc. music too. I'm not from New York. I'm a big fan of New York music. Everybody had their time. But I never thought that you would deliver this blow while man done. You know what I'm saying? When you're in jail, bro, you not dead physically, but everything, you can't do shit. It's, you're confined, you're controlled, you're in a controlled environment. So it's like, man, it's like spitting on a man's grave, bro. We watch these young drill rappers do that. I never would think that an older seasoned vet like 50 would agree to put his name behind this. It was fucked up. No matter how you look at it, it was fucked up. It was a real bad blow. It was a real bad blow, and I stick to it today. I think it was a female. I think it was a female. I think it was all over the way that his engagement with your child's mother, and that's what I think you did it for. And that ain't played, bro. That ain't played. And now I see after you did this, you extremely went Hollywood. Like it's not. It's like damn. Loon was just talking about Charleston White wanting to talk about the Young Thug thing on his platform, and he was telling he's in character. Like now, I never thought that I would say 2025, almost 2026, that 50 Cent's in character. He's in character mode. You know what I'm saying? All the great things that he got going on. I don't think that this Netflix check, it definitely adds to the money pile, but I don't think that without it, it would have hurt your pockets or hurt your image or stop any of the great things you have going on outside of this. So I personally think that was a fucked up blow that 50 did, to Diddy at his lowest. You know what I mean? Like I said, if them white people or whoever, Ciroc or whoever want to do that to him, let them do that. Let the victims of these lawyers play games. But you should have stayed out of that. That's my opinion.
A fan DM'd them saying Ja Rule and his first baby mama just started following each other on Instagram, and apparently it's a signal that Jay-Z, Ja Rule, Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, all allegedly teaming up to take 50 out the paint. And fifth, he replied with the most 50 Cent way possible. F them all. My momentum make them all get together. LOL. So let's break down what's really going on without falling for every conspiracy that's floating around.
Right.
Now let's keep it real. This whole thing didn't just pop off because Ja Rule followed his first baby mama on Instagram. The real gasoline on the fire is Ja Rule's recent tweet storm talking about how he's about to release his own documentary series exposing 50 Cent and flat out calling him a rat, a snitch, and an abuser. So when that IG follow happened, 50 saw it coming as the anti-50 hate campaign begins. Now the conversation shifted from the petty IG activity to, is Ja really gearing up for a full documentary war against 50? Is this his comeback attempt after years of silence? Is he linking with anyone who hates Fifth just to finally catch a W? Now fans are questioning if Ja Rule has the ammo or the industry backing to make a dent in 50 in 2025. Now, the only reason this whole thing hit another level is because 50 Cent clearly believes there's something real behind it. He didn't post that DM just for laughs. That was him signaling, yeah, I see what Ja's trying to do, and I'm not sleeping on it. Now, if 50 thought Ja Rule's documentary talk was clown work, he would have ignored it like he ignores half the people that take shots at him every week. But the fact that he stopped, screenshotted it, and blasted it out tells you one thing. It got under his skin enough to check the temperature. Now, you don't respond to something you don't respect. And right now, 50 looked like he's watching Ja's moves closely. Not scared, but definitely irritated that Ja is trying to revive their beef with snitch allegations in a revenge docuseries. Now, this isn't just trolling anymore. This is 50 acknowledging the smoke, even if he thinks Ja can't handle the fire. But when 50 Cent says, my momentum make them all get together, he's basically letting us know I'm hot enough right now that my enemies forget they hate each other, link up, and still can't stop the show. Now, 50 is not alone on an island. He's actually running it. Look at it like this. 50's been attacking Diddy nonstop. He's threatening to drop career-ending footage. He's got Netflix, stars, and his entire Power universe buzzing. And when one man starts moving, a whole industry, old rivalries start shifting into new alliances. But that doesn't automatically mean Jay-Z is sitting in a Rock Nation war room plotting against 50 Cent like it's a Marvel movie. Jay doesn't even move messy. He moves corporate, structured, and calculated. So yes, 50's momentum is insane right now. And the idea that Jay, Ja, and Desiree Perez are forming a Power Rangers to stop him, that's definitely something they seem like they are cooking up. Now let's stop pretending that Jay-Z is floating above all this like a peaceful monk on a mountain. There's history here and real tension. Now 50 Cent has been throwing jabs at Jay for years. Every few months, 50 takes a swipe at Jay's business moves, at Rock Nation, at the artists he signs, at corporate decisions, even at the NFL partnerships. And Jay, he's never forgotten who he considers disruptive to the clean billionaire image he's trying to maintain. So yeah, Jay-Z might not be out here forming an Avengers team with Ja Rule, but let's not act like he doesn't have animosity towards
When they sneeze.
And that's something that can be true. 50 Cent has created enemies. And listen, Ja Rule never made a bounce back. And that's what, let's get to that. Ja Rule, was defeated by 50. Let's just keep it a buck, like far as like in the streets rap, Ja Rule, Mr. 20 for 20 on the hits. You know what I mean? I fuck with Ja. You get what I'm saying? Ja made hits, good music that's it's timeless, it's priceless. But as far as like that image, like 50 put a real big dent in Murder Inc. Despite them still hitting and doing a thing with Ashanti and Ja, like he stopped a lot of shit, bro. Like he got him off his pivot. Even though Ja's millionaire, living that life and doing all that, but Ja lost a lot in this beef with 50. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate Ja Rule. We seen the verse with him and Fat Joe. Ja Rule, going on the road. Ja Rule making moves, bro. He making his money work. We just saying his son graduated not too long ago. Like Ja Rule making it happen. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let the 50 Cent thing wash him up, but it dried as well. So what this blogger is saying is that it's rumors said that, okay, 50 been doing all this shit. At the end of the day, when you sit at the top, just as many friends as you got enemies. And, 50 done slid a lot of dudes. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes fell away. So now they saying Ja putting together doxers. Now, people, one thing about slick millionaires and slick business people, they just cut a check. So I support it. Take a shot of wine, eat a piece of steak, and call a driver. Hey, look, we putting this doc series together against 50. You know what I'm saying? We want some fun. It don't cost, to a billionaire, it's like to 1,000 there. It's like giving somebody $1,000 when you up to 300,000. It's not gonna hurt you. So it's like, hey man, shit, I'm in. Go 2 million. I'm in. Here go another 2 million. I'm in. Hey, I'm gonna get these people the pull list. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm saying. Like, I ain't with none of that. You get what I'm saying? So that I believe that they forming up against him, bro, and they gonna drop a bombshell in 2026 because, like I said, there's many people that you on and many people you stepped on to get to the top. They don't forget, bro, and I think they gonna suit up against him. You know what I mean? They gonna suit up against him because 50. I think this was just like you could do whatever you want to do. 50 ain't nobody been getting it 50 way, even though dudes don't like it. All right, it's been beefs. It's been clean beefs, but this one right here was low.
People are watching documentaries. Shit, I'll make one too. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Ja doesn't have the leverage, audience, or platform that he used to. So he's swinging in 2025, hoping one punch lands after 20 years of L's. Now, the real question isn't whether Ja wants revenge. He does. It's whether he actually has anything real to hurt 50 with. Because the man has tried everything except a documentary and nothing's worked. But clearly, 50 sees Ja ramping up and it's bothering him just enough to watch closely instead of laughing it off. Now, 50 Cent has been firing shots at the entire industry lately. Diddy, Irvin Azoff, French Montana, and Jay-Z. The whole Rock Nation ecosystem. He's moving loud, confident, and disruptive. And that's exactly why people think these alliances are actually forming. Is 50 Cent truly under pressure, y'all? Yeah, I think to a degree. Because once you start exposing powerful people, you become a target in rooms you'll never walk into. And that's real. Now, is Ja some major threat in 2025? Possibly not. But his documentary talk clearly annoyed 50 enough to respond. Is Jay-Z irritated by 50's constant jabs?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Irritated
Yes.
doesn't necessarily equal plotting.
Right.
Now, the alternative perspective is this. 50 might be bothered, but he's still in control of the narrative. He's bothered like a king getting heckled from the castle walls, not like a man that's actually running from danger. But bothered is still bothered, and that's why he posted that DM. He wanted to show his audience he sees the energy shifting, and he's preparing for whatever messy chess moves come next. Now, here's the part where everyone keeps missing. This isn't really about an IG follow. It's not even about Ja Rule threatening a documentary. And it definitely isn't about Jay-Z being irritated with 50's constant jabs. The real story is the power grid is shifting and 50 can feel it. He's the loudest voice in the industry for months, exposing Diddy, teasing unreleased footage, clowning rivals, calling out execs, and trending nonstop. That kind of momentum creates energy. And energy attracts allies and enemies.
Yeah.
Whether the enemy is real or imagined, 50 clearly senses movement. His post wasn't trolling, it was a pressure check. A way of saying, I see y'all trying to circle up. If you coming, come correct. And that's what makes this moment dangerous. When powerful people feel poked, embarrassed, or threatened, they don't play online games. They play corporate chess. Boardrooms, lawyers, quiet conversations that move mountains. So no, Ja Rule alone isn't a threat, but the energy 50 is stirring up, shit, that's where the real smoke is. He ain't scared, he's not backing down, but he's definitely paying attention, which means something bigger might be brewing behind the scenes. Do y'all come in and drop your thoughts on the comments? Let me know how y'all feel about this new Avengers team trying to come and take down 50.
They gotta take down 50, man. Enough is enough of 50. Boy, Milk with Tony 808.
If you
Shout out to him, man, Sean G. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. Let's go.
You know me, Love?
Nah, I don't know that.
Is this scripted? Did we write anything down? Did you say, Sean, here's the questions? Did I say that?
Nah, this is the real deal. That's the real deal.
We just rapped.
Correct.
All right, so, Lotto, you follow me on Instagram.
Thanks.
I'm covering the Puffy joint. You hit me in the DM about, well, first of all, who are you?
Lotto.
From where?
Brooklyn, from Brownsville, Brooklyn, you heard?
Born and raised?
That's a fact. That's a fact. From Brownsville, never ran, never will. You heard?
Where in Brownsville?
From Suffolk. From Suffolk, from Lincoln Hughes, from Brownsville Housing. Tap in, I'm active.
Okay. What year? What did you come up in the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s?
I came up in the 90s.
In Brownsville.
And it was real in Brownsville.
When Brooklyn was Brooklyn.
And when Brooklyn was Brooklyn. Cool to be. My cousin, shout out to my buzzin'. You know what I'm saying?
Who's Cool to be?
You know that whole shit with the whole 6ix9ine shit happened and he ratted my son out. He's my blood cousin, you know what I'm saying?
Cool to be is?
That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the trenches.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always outside, I'm always active. So I fucked around and drugs, I sold drugs, started selling drugs, I got booked and I caught a case. And it just got crazy after that.
Okay, so you grew up in the street.
I grew up in the streets in Brooklyn, in Brownsville. From Brownsville.
Okay. Now, Lotto, you ended up on Rikers Island at some point.
Yeah, man. I was about to get a little hot. Take this shit off. It's about to get a little hot.
How did you end up on Rikers?
Yeah, so in 2002, I caught an armed robbery case in Brownsville.
Man, what the
And in 2000 January, to be exact, I caught a robbery case in Brownsville. So I fucked around and got sent from there to Rikers Island.
What year is this?
In 2002, I caught that case.
2002.
Right.
Now, what building you in on Rikers?
At first, I ended in C74, 2 upper. If you know, you know.
They say that C74 is wild.
C74. And at that time, you had to be blood. Or you had to be somebody. You heard? You had to be somebody.
What you mean blood, Lotto?
You mean Sue? You know what I'm saying? Blood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the Bloods was running C74?
It's a fact. It's a fact. Facts.
You was down with them at that time?
It's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact. It was.
Okay. Now you run into somebody in there.
Yeah, so I fucked around and got sent to C73.
What happened? How did you go from C74 to C73?
I stay smoking. You see, I stutter. So I used to go by Stutter Blood at that time.
That's what niggas in the street know you as?
Stutter B. It's a fact. You see, I stutter.
Stutter B. You stutter.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's all day.
But you still got a high self-esteem though, Lotto.
I got
stuttering.
I got you.
That don't bother you?
Nah.
You don't let it bother you?
Nah, because I'm him. Because I'm him. I'm saying, that shit don't bother me.
So you go by Stutter B?
No. I used to go by Stutter B.
Oh, so you ain't with that no more?
Nah.
All right, we're going to come back to that. So you was going by Stutter B.
That's a fact.
You was in C74, then you got moved over to C73.
I got moved to C73.
Why?
Because I was smoking crazy bud. I ain't cut nobody. I ain't do none of that. I was smoking crazy bud, and I got sent to C73.
Okay. What happened when you get to C73?
So, as soon as I get to C73, first of all, the shit was already out in C74. Yo, this nigga pulled up, da 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 da, and he had smoke with. I'm not gonna say his name. He had smoke with his dude I know. I'm just gonna keep it as that.
When you say smoke, you mean like static?
Fact.
Okay, smoke. Okay, yeah.
So that nigga like, yo, I know the nigga, and he did this to me in the town. So him had smoke already. The shit had. Let me make this clear. It had nothing to do with me. I involved myself because he had smoke with my man. So on a note like that, he was like, yo, G Unit this.
Motherfuckers don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got smoke with a nigga. Motherfucker ain't on that shit. Oh, he G unit. He's with 50. Motherfucker, oh my God, you had to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you had to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? So he had smoke with a dude I know. And it went from that to him, he getting his whole commissary bag ripped open, got the whole commissary.
Who, Lotto? Who is the him we talking about?
That's Tony Yayo.
I told you.
You know what I'm saying? That's Tony Yayo. And C73. You know what I'm saying? So
in 2002.
In 2002. And if you've been in C73 before, you know as soon as you come out 10 block, you got that door there and it takes you straight to the control room. So if you want to go here or you could go here on each fucking sides of the jail. He bumped into me, I bumped into him.
Who?
This nigga Tony Yayo. I'm gonna keep his name up there. You know what I'm saying? Because he on Vlad. So wait, hold on, let me backtrack. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, this nigga was on Vlad, you know what I'm saying, talking about, oh, I was on an island doing this, nigga, you wasn't doing nothing, Tony Yayo. You wasn't doing anything. I was with you. Me, you, Black, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even have to say my man name, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? He knows what's going on, you know what I'm saying? You know what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
He was getting his commissary bag ripped open?
Boy, the boy was a goof troop.
Where was born, Lotto?
He said, boy, was a goof
Where was
troop.
born?
Yo, bro. Yo, let me take these glasses off. Let's get digital for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? When we went to commissary and you came back and you had your whole shit tore off inside the hallway, it was there, man. Come on, man. But I know you're going to tell 50 and them, yo, this. Bro, you capping. You capping. And you know I know Marv. See, when I first met him, his name was Marv. Let's keep it above. His name was Marv. And then
before Tony Yayo.
It's a fact, bro. Ain't nobody on C73 was calling him that till it got way deep into. He's seen these motherfuckers were doing the Grammys, and you know they threw him on the Grammys, and he started that G unit shit and Josh shit. Niggas was on Ja nuts. Niggas was on Ja nuts.
Ja Rule?
Facts. Niggas was on Ja Rule nuts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Then who? Who you talking about?
The fucking whole G unit. You want to get technical? You know what I'm saying? The whole G unit was. That's a fact. And then the nigga was speaking about my man Maserati Fox. That's my guy. He don't even know you. He never even dealt with you, nigga. He dealt with 50, nigga. He don't even know nothing about you, boy. He don't know nothing about you. You capping for no reason.
Who's Maserati Fox?
He's a known person in Queens.
Basically Project?
Facts. Maserati Fox. He's 50 Cent, his big homie, and he's Tony Yayo, his big homie. You heard? He never mentioned nothing about Tony Yayo at all.
That was your homeboy?
It's a fact. That's a fact. 2006. We was upstate together.
Upstate New York.
It's a fact. Riverview Correctional Facility. 02A4549. Tap in with me, boy.
You and Maserati Fox?
Facts.
How much time you did?
Who, him?
You.
A flat 5. I did a flat 5. I came home for about 6-7 months and got locked right back up. 3 years.
Okay. So his name is Marv, really?
His name is Bozo. Yo, that boy on heavy drugs. That just like Jim Jones said. Capo. Yo, you right, boy. That boy on heavy drugs, you heard? That boy on heavy drugs. So, let's get back to the bowl of cereal. I'm saying, so let's really get active.
Bowl of cereal?
It's a fact. That's a fact. Now look at his face now. Let's get back to that. Came from court. He's sitting, he got his tray. He's sitting there right at the table. Tend on. You know what's going on. You've been there. He's sitting at the table. I told you, it wasn't my beef. I involved myself because you had beef with my man. You feel me?
You don't want to say your man's name?
Black.
So you had beef with Black?
He had beef with my man Black. So
where's Black from?
He's from Hollis.
From Hollis?
He's from Hollis, Queens. Yo, see, 2002, you know, that shit was Brooklyn squad, you got the Queens squad, you know, you got the Bronx squad, you got all that going on. He wasn't with nobody at that time. He wasn't in, no, bro, his whole bag of commissary got ripped. He had to ask to use the phone. He's so tough. You had to ask to use the phone. Had no slot time. At that time, bro, the phones was free. Motherfuckers was killing niggas for the phones. The phones was free. The phones was free.
What was the politics with the phone? How did that work on a daily basis? How many phones was in the unit?
2.
Who controlled them?
Bloods. Facts.
And Tony Ayo wasn't one of them.
He didn't control nothing. He stayed in his fucking room or cell. Bro, he had to ask to use the phone. He had no slot time. See, here's how it goes.
But if I would have went in there, Lotto, I would have had to ask permission to use the phone too, right?
It's a fact.
But I'm 56-year-old nigga. I just need to call my lady. I gotta ask permission to use the phone.
Listen, I don't give a fuck if you're 100. If you have no slot time, you're not going to use the phone. You're not going to use the phone. He had no slot time, which means he wasn't nobody. Like his name held no weight. You know that G Unit shit held no weight. Because if so, he would have had slot time.
Was G Unit formed at that time?
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. Bro, that shit was formed once.
Damn, yo. So that's where it's coming in at with this, to be honest with you. 50 Cent is about to raise, war against, his team. And I like I said, man, ultimately that was just a bad move. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like Diddy. There's millions of people that don't like Diddy, there's millions of people that do like Diddy. But whoever crucifying Diddy is crucifying Diddy. You know what I'm saying? That's it, that's all. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying, as being, who you is, and an icon in the music business, mobile with this TV shit, and you making money and you getting money, just to get in that was crazy. And your reason for getting in that, it's not about money or wanting to raise awareness and all that. That's that man business, bro, because there's a lot of shit going on in hip hop. It's a lot of fucked up shit going on in hip hop that you wasn't raising awareness with. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, though. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. I do believe that motherfuckers about to team up. You get what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like I said, again, I'm a 50 Cent fan, G Unit fan, Murder Inc. fan. I like music, bro. I don't know these dudes personally, and they didn't come, you know what I'm saying? They didn't come from where I come from. So, you know what I mean? Through interviews, through magazines, you know what I mean? They good artists. They made good music. And I'm quite sure people just tapping in right now know that they good artists and they make good music. You know what I mean? They have did legendary things in this business, but I think that was some fuck shit that 50 did. I'm not even gonna hold y'all to it. I ain't even gonna bullshit. I'm not even gonna act like I'm joking or playing. It was some wild shit 50 did, and everybody that's on his ass should just be on his ass. He deserved it, bro. And I believe that he been throwing so many jabs and getting away with it and been so flawless, bro. You know what I mean? If you don't retire like Mayweather, you bound to lose. You know what I mean? You get old, your knees get bad, punches get slow. So I hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. I thank everybody for tapping in.
If you live in
I thank everybody for tapping in. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. RDP, aka Rondo Podcast Vlog. We out.